His jaw was in his throat, his upper lip and teeth were gone. His one eye was shut, his other eye was a star-shaped hole. His eyebrows were thin and arched like a woman's. His nose was undamaged. His clean black hair was swept upward into a cowlick at the rear of the skull. His forehead was lightly freckled. His fingernails were clean. His neck was open to the spinal cord, and the blood there was thick and shiny, and it was this wound that had killed him.
Oh my gosh, what the heck? You freaking trashed the freaker!
Dude, go away! Listen, man, don't worry about it. There's nothing you could have done. Would you rather be that guy?
A slim young man lay with his legs in the shade. His jaw was in his throat. His one eye was shut, and the other was a star-shaped hole. The star-shaped hole was red and yellow. The yellow part seemed to be getting wider, spreading out at the center of the star. The upper lip and gum and teeth were gone. The man's head was cocked at a wrong angle as if loose at the neck, and the neck was wet with blood.
Tim, what are you doing? Tim, look at me. Tim, it's a war. The guy wasn't Heidi. He had a weapon, right? It's a tough thing for sure, but you've got to cut out the staring.
The butterfly was making its way along the young man's forehead, which was spotted with small dark freckles. Along the trail there were small red berries. The young man's head was wrenched sideways, not quite facing the berries. And even in the shade, a single blade of sunlight sparkled against the buckle of his ammunition. The left cheek was peeled back in 3 ragged strips. The wounds at his neck had not yet clotted, which made him seem animate even to death, the blood still spreading out across his shirt.
Staring. So listen, you best pull your shit together. I can't just sit here all day. 5 more minutes, Tim. 5 more minutes and we're moving out. Man, I'm sorry. Why not talk about it? Come on, man, talk. Talk!
The young Vietnamese girl of 14 is seen dancing around the wreckage of her destroyed village and dead family. She has her eyes half closed and without shoes takes tiny steps into the dirt in front of her house, as she occasionally smiles and twirls.
What is she doing?
We searched through the wreckage. Rat Kiley caught a chicken. Lieutenant Cross was on the radio, but not much was.
Why is she dancing?
It doesn't matter.
We go looking around the wreckage and find the girl's dead family. We drag the bodies out and the girl keeps dancing, now putting her hands over her ears and dancing sideways. Maybe it meant something. She did a graceful movement with her hips.
I don't like it.
The girl kept dancing. Her face was now composed and peaceful.
Probably some weird ritual.
No, the girl just likes to dance.
After we had marched away from the smoking village, Azar mocks the girls dancing, doing jumps, spins, put his hands on his ears, danced sideways, backwards, and did an erotic move with his hips. Dobbins picked him up and carried him over to a well.
Do you want to be dumped in?
No?
Then dance, all right, okay?
Have you ever killed anyone? You keep writing all these war stories, so you must have killed somebody.
Of course not. Come here.
The whole platoon was there, spread out in the dense brush along the trail, and for 5 hours nothing at all happened. We were working in 2-man teams, one man on guard while the other slept, switching off every 2 hours, and I remember it was still dark when Kiowa shook me awake for the final watch.
The grenade bounced once and rolled across the trail. The young man dropped his weapon and began to run, just 2 or 3 quick steps. Then he hesitated, swiveling to his right, and he glanced down at the grenade and tried to cover his head, but never did. He lay at the center of the trail, his right leg bent beneath him, his one eye shut, his other eye a huge star-shaped hole.
It was a good kill. He would have died anyways.
Sometimes I forgive myself, other times I don't. Now and then when I'm reading a newspaper or just sitting alone in a room, I'll look up and see the young man step out of the morning fog. I'll watch him walk towards me, his shoulders slightly stooped, his head cocked to the side, and he'll pass within a few yards of me and suddenly smile at some secret thought, and then continue up the trail to where it bends back into the fog.